Hello, Minecrafters. Welcome to another episode of Minecraft Survival Mode. I think after all of this expansion and heading out on the road into the wilderness and on adventure, I think this isn't a bad time to just stop all the exploration for a moment, take stock of the base, and then build something else cool. Alright, that's right. Just had to do a little cut there. I was about to say, we may have a name to add to this by the end of the episode. Oh, by the way, that stack of bones just reminded me, guys, there are 64 in this moment as I'm recording this subscribers on my channel. Isn't that awesome? A full stack of subscribers. I know it doesn't seem like the biggest number, but that's just because we're used to seeing our favorite YouTubers or the well-known ones. You guys are important. Every one subscriber, one viewer, whether you stay for the whole video or just part of it, you matter, you know. You're just, I don't know how to explain it. I've felt very special as a viewer before, and it was because the person making the content was coming off as very genuine. So I hope that I'm doing that as well, even though it's hard for me sometimes to think of the right things to say. um, yeah, we're gonna need some wood. You know, I have the best place to stand and look at rain, and I haven't been doing it. Oh yeah, everything's looking good out there. So what I'm planning is, over here we're gonna build the stable, and we can kind of make we can get these guys back in here and make a bigger pasture out there. So in through here will be more open again. So I think that's the plan for tonight. We're gonna get a nice cozy shelter for our horses, because look at them out there. Also, this bamboo, I think it looks sweet. I think it looks great. It's just busy enough for me. Got our melons going. I think they look cool. Yeah, this is where all the other bamboos came from. This was kept getting cut down. These I just let grow on their own. You can probably tell. Hey guys, they're like, hey dad. Or shepherd. I'm not their papa. Hey, hey Emino. Alright guys, let's get this thing structure built. I just like the way that looks, man. Okay. My original idea for this stable was, like, on this side there would be a storage loft, and then like most of out here would be open. So we'll see if I end up doing that. Lovely. Alright, we got a loft in. Now let's get these walls up a little higher. Close everything in. That's a pretty horse out there. Go tamer. $64. I hope that doesn't seem, I don't know. Where are my thoughts? Where are my thoughts recording this video? I just don't know what to say today. At least you guys know, like, I want to be committed to this, and I don't want to, I at least don't want to slow down anytime soon, so. You know what this needs? I'll show you. I love doing these. When you have your stair roofs like this, one thing I like to do is bring it out with slabs and blocks. And you know what? That can just be down. Yeah. And what you do is you get the effect of having, yeah, that like jutty window. I love jutty windows. Like, I could have put one in here, but it was a different design. Yeah, jutty windows. That's what we're calling those, jutties. I don't know if that's what they really are, but. Do we want windows going along? Yeah, of course we do. In fact, if I remember, there's a lot of stables where the horses can kind of step their heads out and stuff, you know? Maybe we just remove all of this and let this be that for our horses. Shadowfax wants to make an escape, man. We gotta watch him. That horse wants to leave. Yeah, let's make this match everything else. Why not? Also brings the ladder out a little. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. Might not be enough. There is not enough left. After all. So, my plan now is to melt more glass. Do. What? The limitations just became so real with these scaffoldings. I thought I could place them out sideways, y'all. What am I doing? That's why they're great. Okay. No biggie, no biggie. We figuring. The things like scaffolds. Oh yeah, I love that it does that. Isn't that cool? Anyway. And then it all comes down. Yeah. Not too shabby. What was I getting at with the scaffolding? I was gonna complain about it. Oh, the elytras. So the reason I don't use elytras very much, not even on the multiplayer server we've played on a couple times now, is it's not a lack of practice. It's like, I think I'm too old. Like, I'll use them, but I don't find myself thinking about using them. You know what I mean? And I don't mean old like in human years. I mean old in Minecraft years. So, never mind. There are limitations. And that's fine. Maybe we bring it out. Okay. The amount of sidetrack that I go down. I get sidetracked so often, guys. It doesn't matter if I'm recording a video either. I'm just all over the place, I guess. But maybe that's why I'm able to work on so many projects at once, you know? I've heard it told before that, like, certain aspects of ADHD can actually be viewed as a person's special abilities. Like, I think multiple thoughts at once. And I've talked about inner monologue here on the channel before on one of my behind the scenes videos. And I think to further touch on that, I will say that now there's no way I can know this for sure. I'm not a psychologist, but I've done a lot of studying and it's a point of interest for me on the subject of psychology and brain development. So I figured I would add that little bit in there. Just to mention I'm a Minecrafter, but I'm a human too. And I think about I have philosophical ideas on a daily basis. So maybe I should start sharing those. I've met people with very contrasting ideas or philosophies to my own. Yeah, I think a really interesting side effect for me and the way that I think is when I meet a very negative person or interact with a very negative person that is used to or taught to be argumentative. So believes in arguments or is just used to it and interacts with people in that way regularly. And a lot of people believe that's like a life force, you know, if you're fiery and opinionated and lead with your emotions, then you're like being actively human and all of this, which is probably just as valid as my more Buddhism approach, where I believe there's metaphorically a untamed horse in my mind, and I have to find ways to not break that horse, but calm them, restore peace. And that's the idea with Buddhism. So, with those contrasting ideas, I think that I'll run into these issues where someone will be waiting for my response, my argument, and I'll be on a totally different path. I'm not rejecting their view. I'm obtaining it as much as I can. And most of the time, I think people expect a certain answer. So I think I accidentally seem disingenuous when someone has an issue or people are having a disagreement and I end up involved somehow. Heart. It may even be real in some of your heart, but it's not the same as real life, no matter how we feel about it. And we can't let that view change, you know? We can't let our wishes become, you know, our realities. We have to observe our realities. Think about it like this. Your thoughts are not you. They're like a cloud floating over your head. They may be tangible enough to take away the sun, but you have to observe them as they float by. And as long as you do not accept them as you, you'll stay where you want to be, or you'll be able to move somewhere else. So your clouds, your thoughts are not you. They are clouds floating above your head. Don't identify with them. Just observe them as they go by. We got our nice little birdie spot now. Love that. I just thought I would leave you with that stuff because, like I said, I'm a thoughtful guy, if you will. I think about a lot of stuff. And for a long time, it took me a while to separate some of the feelings I had from those thoughts, especially the more strong feelings, the more powerful the emotion, the more it can affect us, of course. So find a way. My way was the cloud metaphor, you know, but find a way to observe your thoughts. You know, they may not be right. They may be only specific to yourself, and they may have nothing to do with anything real. Explore them, see what they can become, because afterwards you'll have tools that your mind had given you. You may take in information throughout the day, and then tomorrow that will have given you something that will last possibly your lifetime. Like when I picked up this video game. So, and again, that's only a thought. You are my favorite Minecrafter.